The Bible attributes the origin of human evil to people exercising their free will. When they choose to disobey God's standards, it brings suffering. Now, this is something we probably have all said, but let's take a closer look at it. Historically, Genesis 2, you can eat the fruit of every other tree, but if you eat from this one, you will surely die. Warning. Danger signs. To Adam, he said, cursed is the ground. Now, this is after their sin. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life. Consequence of sin. Cursed is the ground, painful toil. That's suffering, right? You will suffer. Why? Because of your sin. Sin brings suffering. Evil brings suffering. Moral evil brings physical suffering, spiritual suffering, mental, emotional suffering. Hello. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Again, a verse that we commonly acknowledge, but what does it really mean? When you've sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, there's certain consequences. Another very familiar verse that you can link these together, the wages of this sin, all have sinned, is death. Death entails suffering. So, why do people die? We die because of an evil that is in our history. It's in our genetic history. It's in our DNA. We all sinned in Adam. However you want to put that. But of course, not only did we all sin in Adam, but we all have our own unique list that goes on and on and on, and page after page after page over the course of our lifetimes of all the sins that we have committed. And a guaranteed result of sin is suffering. So arguing for our basic goodness is not the answer. It's just not true. It sets up God to take the blame for evil and suffering. Because the usual thing is, why do good people suffer? And the answer, there's many answers to that. This is not a complete or adequate answer, but for one dimension of the problem, it's worth stating. Good people don't suffer. Bad people suffer. No, wait. Are you blaming every suffering that happens in a person's life on their sin? Absolutely not. And Jesus made that very clear, and we'll look at a passage where he did that. But what I'm saying is, has there ever been, did Adam and Eve ever suffer when they were still good people? No. Then they sinned, and they fell, and they became people who were not good. But of course, what we mean by that is we look at people and we say, grading on a curve, that's a really good person. And the person who's in the 95th percentile with kind of natural goodness by God's common grace, or they have disciplined themselves to do good in life, and the person that just ranks really, really high is still a sinner by nature, deserving of eternal damnation. Now that's an increasingly unpopular belief, not simply out in the world, but within evangelicalism. Or to be seen as a God who wishes us well, but doesn't have the power or resolve to save us from suffering. So arguing for human goodness is not the answer.